Coming up on 5 Minute News. Biden to propose $200 billion investment in free preschool. CDC says many Americans can now go outside without a mask. And US orders big drawdown at Kabul embassy as troops leave. It's Wednesday, April 28. I'm Anthony Davis. President Joe Biden will call for free preschool for all 3- and 4-year-old children, a $200 billion investment to be rolled out as part of his sweeping American Families Plan being unveiled today in a joint address to Congress. The administration said the historic investment would benefit 5 million children and save the average family $13,000. It calls for providing federal funds to help the states offer preschool, with teachers and other employees earning $15 an hour. The new details are part of Biden's $1 trillion plus package focused on so-called human infrastructure, childcare, healthcare, education and other core aspects of the household architecture that undergird everyday life for countless Americans. It would be paid for by hiking taxes on very high-income households, in keeping with the president's vow not to raise taxes on those making less than $400,000 a year. Administration officials said that details of the proposal were yet to be finalized, but the package builds on Biden's proposed $2.3 trillion American Jobs Plan, a massive investment in infrastructure that goes beyond roads and bridges to include veterans' hospitals, childcare centers, and other developments. The White House has portrayed its plan as a Robin Hood-style effort to tax the rich in order to spend on benefits for the middle class and poor. It's an argument that hundreds of billions of dollars controlled by the wealthiest sliver of the country would lead to better results for the entire country if they were distributed instead to families. While Biden is determined to reach out for bipartisanship, Republicans in Congress have largely panned his proposals as big government spending and vowed to oppose them. The US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention eased its guidelines on Tuesday on the wearing of masks outdoors, saying fully vaccinated Americans don't now need to cover their faces unless they are in a big crowd of strangers. And those who are unvaccinated can go outside without masks in some situations too. The new guidance represents another carefully calibrated step on the road back to normal from the coronavirus outbreak that has killed over 570,000 people in the US. The change comes as more than half of US adults, or about 140 million people, have received at least one dose of vaccine, and more than a third have been fully vaccinated. CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky said the decision was driven by rising vaccination numbers, declines in COVID-19 cases, hospitalizations and deaths, and research showing that less than 10% of documented instances of transmission of the virus happened outdoors. Some experts portrayed the relaxed guidance as a reward and a motivator for more people to get vaccinated, a message President Joe Biden sounded too. The bottom line is clear. If you're vaccinated, you can do more things more safely, both outdoors as well as indoors, Biden said. The CDC, which has been cautious in its guidance during the crisis, essentially endorsed what many Americans have already been doing over the past several weeks. The State Department on Tuesday ordered a significant number of its remaining staff at the US Embassy in Kabul to leave Afghanistan as the military steps up the pullout of American troops from the country. The order came as the US Special Envoy for Afghanistan told lawmakers that it no longer made sense to continue the 20-year deployment of American troops there. At the same time, Ambassador Zalmay Khalilzad said he shared lawmakers' concerns that the rights of women and minorities could be jeopardized after the withdrawal is complete. He said aid and other types of diplomatic support would not be available if they did not respect the human rights of Afghan women or others. Shortly before he spoke, the State Department said it had instructed all personnel to depart unless their jobs require them to be physically located in Afghanistan. Such orders normally apply only to non-essential personnel. The embassy in Kabul is heavily dependent on the US military for security, and staff drawdowns had been underway since the Trump administration had announced last year that American troops would be withdrawn from Afghanistan by May 1st. The Biden administration extended that deadline until September 11, the 20th anniversary of the 2001 terrorist attacks, but has accelerated the pullout. You can subscribe to 5 Minute News on YouTube with your preferred podcast app. Ask your smart speaker or enable 5 Minute News as your Amazon Alexa flash briefing skill. Subscribe, rate and review online at 5minute.news. 5 Minute News is an Evergreen Podcast covering politics, inequality, health and climate, delivering independent, unbiased and essential world news daily.